Today I'm going to teach you how to live flea-free and how to keep your pets flea-free at the same time. However, it's going to be a little different because I've decided to actually wage a chemical-free warfare on fleas. And I want you guys to listen carefully. You guys know me, I never use notes, but I've actually taken notes and written everything down because I want to share everything about fleas with you. A lot of people joke about fleas. They don't realize that fleas can be very, very deadly. And take it from me, when the world comes to an end, two things will survive: cockroaches and fleas, no doubt in my mind. First of all, let me give you some flea facts here, okay? The average flea can live about 100 days, and fleas don't fly, by the way, they jump. The average flea can jump approximately 8 inches, which would be the equivalent of you probably going over the Empire State Building. That's how much it is. And a female flea consumes 15 times its weight in blood every single day. And you ready for this one, guys? The average flea can accelerate 50 times faster than the space shuttle. You think they're resilient? You bet they are. Remember years ago I was doing a segment on Regis and Kathy Lee. And they called me up a couple of days before and said, all right, what are we doing this week, Warren? I said, we're going to do fleas. And they said, well, if we're going to do fleas, I know you're going to bring on a couple of dogs and a couple of cats, but Warren, can you bring some fleas on the show as well? Where the heck does someone get a jar full of fleas? Believe it or not, I have contacts, folks. I have a lot of contacts. And I had a bunch of fleas flown up from Florida University. Actually, it was FedEx to me. When the FedEx guy delivered them to my office in New York at that time, he said, what's in this? It said, handle carefully. And I said, it's a jar of fleas. And he said, nothing ever is being delivered to your house again, Warren. Bottom line here, folks, is that fleas are really, really a major problem. So how do you combat fleas? Well, first of all, let's talk about some of the problems. Certain dogs and certain cats have what's called a flea dermatitis, which means one flea bite can cause a mess to your dog or cat. They can also carry tapeworms. They can contribute to feline asthma, hot spots, ear infections, dry skin. They can cause all types of problems internally. The basic line here is that fleas can actually kill your dog and kill your cat. So how are we going to get rid of these little terrors, these little monsters? There's a couple of ways to do it. First of all, I know most of you people that are watching this are already on some type of flea control from your veterinarian, whether it be Advantage, Advantix, Program, whatever the different names are. And if your vet recommends you use them and they're working fine for you, that's great. But are they going to prevent your dog or cat from getting fleas? The answer is no. The bottom line is so many people, even professionals, they'll tell you how to stop fleas from being on your dog or cat. But they don't realize that unless you treat the environment at the same time, you're never going to resolve the problem. So first of all, let's determine if you have fleas in your house. Years ago, I developed what I call the Warren Eckstein white towel test. What you do is take your dog or cat, roll them around in a white towel. After that, you'll see specks on the towel. Take those specks, and what those specks are, just so you know, is flea poop. You take those specks and you put them on a damp paper towel. If they turn red, you know they're fleas, because that's what fleas live on. They live on blood. So that's how you know if you have a flea infestation in your house. There's other ways of knowing also. You see your dog going like this, or you're scratching in bed, there's a good idea that fleas are present. So what we need to do here, and what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, is how you treat the entire environment, including the pet. As I said, using the products from your veterinarian, absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that. But when people find out their dog or cat has fleas, here's what they do. They run to the pet store, they get flea powder, they get flea spray, they get flea bombs, they get flea collars, they get flea this, they get flea that, and they put it all on their dog or cat at the same time, and an hour later, their dog is glowing because he's radioactive from all these chemicals. A lot of the flea products contain nerve gas. So what I've done is I put together a group of products, when used together, will actually fight not only the fleas on your pet, where your pet sleeps, but in the environment at the same time. So the first thing I'd like to recommend to you is an all-natural herbal flea spray. Forget those flea sprays that you see on the market, guys. You go to the pet store, most of them are toxic, they have chemicals in them. This is all natural. You can spray this on your dog twice a day. It smells like a spa. I spray it on myself. You can spray it around the dog's bedding, where the dog hangs out. Totally safe to use consistently. Now, in terms of treating the dog, you notice here that I have the Hugs and Kisses supplements. I have the dog supplements and the cat supplements. Why would I be recommending supplements for a flea problem? Well, the answer is simple. You heard me say that fleas consume approximately 15 times their weight in blood every day. So the bottom line is fleas are more attracted to where they have access to the blood, and that's in dry, flaky skin where they can burrow under and get to the blood. So the bottom line here is if your dog or cat's skin and coat is in good condition, they're much less attractive to fleas and it's much safer for the pet. So that's why I recommend, whether you have fleas or not, as a preventative, you get your dogs and cats on the Hugs and Kisses supplements. The #1 ingredient being lecithin will keep that skin nice and moist, prevent that cracking, which fleas absolutely adore. So now we've treated the environment, we've treated your dog or cat from the inside, but what about the big problem? The environment. Fleas can live without food for a minimum of 6 months. And for years people would say, well, all you need to do is vacuum every day. Well, you're right, you should vacuum every day, but what happens to the fleas and what happens to the flea eggs in the vacuum cleaner? They just rehatch and reinfest the house, and once again your dog, your cat, and perhaps you are suffering with fleas again. So how do you treat the environment? You treat the environment in a couple of different ways. This is a great product from my good friends over at NatureVet. We just started carrying this on the website, and it's fabulous. Basically, what you do with this is you sprinkle it around carpeted areas, you sprinkle it around upholstered areas, and I know you guys that your dogs and cats are on the couch in bed with you, just like mine. So you sprinkle it around and then you vacuum it up. And this way what happens is the eggs and the fleas are killed, and when you vacuum them up, they're not going to rehatch. I actually use a little of this and I sprinkle it in my vacuum cleaner bag so that as I'm vacuuming, I know the fleas and the flea eggs are killed at the same time. So fleas are a really, really serious problem, folks. As I said, they can cause allergies, scabbing, skin infections. They can cause anemia and, yes, even death. You heard me talk about they can spread diseases like tapeworm, all kinds of problems, ear infections, hot spots, inflammatory bowel disease. So it's more than just watching your dog or cat scratch. It's up to you as a good guardian to make sure that you go flea-free. So what we've done, if you're watching this now, is I put together a special package. This is the cat package. You get the crystals, you get the spray, the all-natural herbal spray, and the Hugs and Kisses for the cat, or you can order the dog spray. And because flea season is usually seasonal, but this type of year, and nowadays fleas are like 365. What I'd like you to do is I put it together in a bundle, and I've marked the price down so that we can have, again, a flea-free season. So I want you to understand that fleas are always going to be around. Are we ever going to get rid of all the fleas in the world? The answer is no. But there is a way to get rid of them in your home. And the way to do that is to treat the pet from the inside out, treat the environment with a spray, and make sure when you clean up the environment that you're cleaning up fleas that are not going to reinfest your home. Follow that advice and you can be flea-free this year. And you know what? Your dogs and your cats will be a whole lot happier.